Bitwit's coverage of CES 2018 is brought to you by Fantex and CableMod. Click the links in the description below for more info. Alright y'all, so let's talk a little bit about ASUS and some of the cool things that they were showing off at their hotel suite this week, starting with, oddly enough, a router. That's actually pretty cool. It's the Blue Cave AAC2600 dual-band wireless router for smart homes, but of course it can be used for much more than that. We'll touch on that in just a bit. It features Intel Wi-Fi technology built right in with 802.11 AC Wi-Fi and speeds up to 2600 megabits per second, as the name suggests. It's also fully integrated with Amazon Alexa and Echo, so you can pretty much boss your router around and tell it what to do. Set up a guest network, and it'll do so for a temporary 3 hours or something like that, whatever you specify, or you can tell it to pause the internet temporarily while you do a lengthy benchmarking session or something like that. So that's actually really cool. I might get one for the office. It also controls all of your smart home devices from the desktop GUI or even remotely from the supported app. There's also an option to create family member accounts, with parental controls. You can limit access, things like that. You can schedule backups to the cloud with AI Cloud, which is of course ASUS's service. And there's also a device intrusion technology built right in. So if you were to try to connect a infected laptop or any infected device to your network, for example, it would automatically block it before any real damage could actually take place. You get 4 gigabit Ethernet ports on the back, and according to the ASUS reps, this thing is supposed to have really good 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi performance. And this is of course thanks to a couple, actually I think 4 antennas that are actually built in. They're internal antennas that sort of go around that middle blue part. They kind of like wrap around it, if you will. And so they're positioned in such a way that they give you the best possible signal in pretty much every direction. On top of all that, it's super compact, so it can pretty much fit anywhere in your house. Not to mention, I like the way it looks. It's not hideous like some other routers out there. And this is launching in just a few days, January 18th, for $179 US. It's a little bit steep for my tastes, but at the same time, you're getting a lot of functionality built in here. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Next up, we've got the XG Station Pro, which is an external GPU dock that's more or less aimed at the pro and workstation crowd, but that doesn't mean you can't use it for gaming. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. ASUS has sort of designed this to work fluidly with something like one of their ZenBooks, for example, for anyone who's doing like 3D modeling, if you're a CAD artist or something like that. This is a really nice solution. They've actually co-developed the case design with Inwin, and it totally makes sense. It matches the sort of design language that Inwin usually goes with, aluminum construction. It's very nice. In person, it looks beautiful. It's professional looking, very sleek and modern. I actually like the way it looks a lot more than their gaming XG docks. To be honest, those are just a little bit too aggressive for me, and this one just looks really nice on your desk. Thunderbolt 3 is the connectivity of choice here, and they have included a cable, thank goodness. This is also supporting not just PCs, but Macs as well, if you're into that sort of thing. A lot of graphic designers and CAD experts and stuff who are using Macs, so that makes sense. It can also house pretty much the latest AMD and NVIDIA cards, up to 2.5 slots wide. So that's fantastic. Lengthwise too, it can actually fit an ROG Strix GTX 1080 Ti in there, which is awesome. Now this unit has a fairly small footprint compared to most other GPU docks that I've seen. However, there was a bit of a sacrifice. They actually had to take the power supply and make it external, which is going to bother some people and others won't mind. I like the decision. I think it makes sense. It just looks nice and compact, and probably easier to carry with you than just a larger enclosure overall. The power supply is 330 watts, so that's enough to drive some fairly high-end graphics cards. Bear in mind the PSU only has to drive the actual card and not things like a CPU or your motherboard, etc. So that is nice. On the right side of the dock, you'll find 2 fairly large fans that are there resting right up against the GPU backplate to help exhaust hot air when under load. And then we've also got dust filters, plenty of ventilation on multiple sides, and this is going to retail for $329 US, which is actually a lot cheaper than their gaming-oriented GPU docks, but it is still a little bit pricey, all things considered. Still, very, very beautiful and well thought out design. Finally, we've got the PQ22UC ProArt 4K HDR OLED portable display. That is a mouthful, but this item is one of the ones that piqued my interest most at the ASUS suite. Like the last item that we just talked about, this is also aimed at workstation professionals who are on the go primarily. So there's a 21.6-inch 4K matte display. Very glad they opted for matte here at 60 Hertz with a 0.1 millisecond response time. This thing is lightning quick. So is it meant for gaming? No. Could you game on it comfortably? Most definitely, I would say so. Obviously, they didn't have any gaming demos set up on this panel because that's not how it's being marketed, but I would love to get my hands on one of these and just test it out myself. We also get high color saturation with 100% DCI-P3 coverage and HDR10 support. So not only is this going to be really great for media playback and such, but also editing, color grading, graphic design, pretty much anything that has to do with color, you're going to be sure to get some really accurate, rich, vibrant colors that are just very well produced here. On the side of the display, we find USB Type-C and micro HDMI. I believe the protocols, or I would assume that the protocols being used here are going to be DisplayPort 1.2 for the Type-C and probably HDMI 2.0B for the micro. So, but don't quote me on that. That's just a guess. This is a really cool, a lot of cutting-edge technology that's crammed into this really portable design. This is sort of portable frame. It's only 8.4 millimeters thick, or thin, I should say. It's super thin. You can pretty much take it anywhere you go, and fairly light at just 2.6 pounds. That's incredibly light for a display. Included is a carrying case that also functions as a stand, and if that's not good enough, they are selling an optional hard foldable stand with tilt adjustment. So if you want a little bit more flexibility there and just elevate, or maybe you just want to elevate the display off of your desk a little bit, that's a great solution. Don't know what the pricing or availability is on this thing, but I would like to get my hands on this and, like I said, try some gaming with it. But I would imagine that with all the technology and the sort of form factor that we're dealing with here, that this thing is probably not going to be super cheap. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys right now for from Asus for CES 2018. Guys, let me know if anything tickled your fancy in the comments below, and feel free to toss me a like on the video if you enjoyed it. You can also get subscribed for more tech coverage at CES 2018 right here on Bitwit. Guys, thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video.